So on this build we're going to be making what I've fondly named a repulsiver, as they're quite repulsive. So a meaty one, based around a little old 40k gun and some wire. So using mainly just beads, wire and the little 40k gun, you can start by drilling a hole through the gun to then form the body. These are going to be for Bill Making Stuff's new Skirmish game coming out soon. So I kind of like wanted to make a couple of units ready for that. So I started with meaty ones just because why not? So I'm going to use beads to get that kind of like rounded, pustulous node. That's the two words of the day, I guess. Kind of vibe, so beads are a really good way to start, just you get that rounded kind of organic look straight off. So I got a plan, they're going to be 6 of them. Oh yeah. And this guy is a thing now. I don't agree with his methods, but he kind of like pays off. Makes beads with little bits of junk. You know. Win some and lose some, so he's there. So I go off kind of like a mutant chicken look. The end result is anyway. But I want that kind of like sentry, kind of drone feel about this one. So do the classic bit of green stuff, just to coat all those beads now and hide some of the joins, give it a bit more texture, something a bit grimmer. So breaking up the right Vaseline, it just helps the tools not stick to green stuff and you can put a bit more force in and get into all those cracks. And then mixing some milliput with green stuff to get a harder result. I'm gonna make a load of little more pustulous nodes. Just comes and goes. So, not too messy. So I did this on a previous build on the Ruster to get like a worn metal effect, but it also works really well for those fleshy kind of like scars, tendons, just weird. I guess with like a meaty ones, the more texture the better, so wing it a bit. No texture's bad texture. Bad texture's good texture. And the old vitamin C cork bits. I've used a couple of pennies to weight the base, but all of these are top heavy. They just don't stay up. Something to think about for the next one, but I think it adds their character. They're quite clumsy things. So I was trying to get a nice kind of like detail shot of the texture and how it's come over across so far, until interrupted and viciously assaulted, if anything. Yeah, there's some video compression issues, I'm guessing, but if you look at it like a old Nintendo game, it kind of pays off. Just imagine it's a Bob Ross style tutorial. Some nice friendly meaty ones in the corner. So I'm going to add all those little nodes to give it that kind of like a very uncertain silhouette, as well as that kind of like when the paint job comes in, you'll see the tonal quality you get. You can get some of these saw looking crevices. It's all about the grim words today. I am sorry. And then another coat of liquid green stuff just fills in, kind of blends all the shapes and textures in. I'm quite good on that little plastic gun. It's trickier to paint, I don't know, different plastic. So here I've just kind of done a standard black undercoat. Again, that's mainly to kind of like fill in any very tight gaps I might not notice and give the paint something to cling to. I'm going to try out the Army Painter Collection. So they are really good little brushes. I've been using Insane Detail for a while, and that's a brilliant brush. There's also a dry brush and a base coat brush. So the base coat is a CO, seems to be a good powerhouse kind of brush, but the Insane Detail is just great, just swell. It's kind of like a brush like that just brings out those details, really changes the quality of your model, and some brush soap, just to try to get the best out of them. So I've gone with a kind of like pretty grim, I think it's not maybe Screamer Pink, Citadel, and yeah, that just gets into all the crevices, gives you a nice kind of like solid meaty base to then do a very heavy, what do you call it, dry brush, more like a moist brush. So I'm gonna rely on a few washes to get that tonal blend and try to keep it looking quite natural and just grim. I mean, can't help yourself. So, the lore for this abomination, this creature, they kind of come from Meat Mountain, and when they're created, born, they're kind of like these grim, meaty slugs. They've got no real senses to speak of, and they just go out and like limply drag themselves until they find a discarded weapon or a bit of technology. And then they'll kind of like force their mass inside of any cracks or crevices and try to take over it. So generally they look for weapons to protect the Meat Mountain. And they're designed to kind of like get their senses from the weapon, so it's all dependent on what weapon they find is how effective they are. If they get a standard kind of like visual sight, they may have to grow a little eye. But if they find the weapons like these ones have, which are quite advanced, so they got tracking, different sensors to try like pinpoint enemies. So luckily these ones will be quite effective, but you know, some other ones, you know, they might find a GPS, so they can kind of like find things or wander about, know where they are, but have no real effect. But in the context of Skirmish, Skirm in the Gutlands, when they have to take on more challenging opponents, they've got to form a team, and due to their lack of senses, they can struggle to be coordinated, you know, tell each other apart. So then they're generally controlled by a kind of like a repulsiver brain, a more kind of like sentient version that can manage them all. It's a bit weaker, but can organise the pack. So I'm going to be making that as a little like bonus this week. I'm going to try to maybe like a 24-hour build, just really quickly. I got an idea, I've got some good beads. And yeah, rewatched Nope recently, so I got some inspiration. So each kind of like repulsiver slug will then grow with the technology the weapon is kind of like taken, like a hermit crab takes a shell. So some of them will grow quite strange, because it all depends. This one has got quite a large energy weapon, so needs a bit more kind of mass to hold it. And possibly due to the nature has got more nodes. Maybe it's like a toxic weapon or radioactive. Yeah, due to that kind of clumsiness, they're not the most effective. But can be quite dangerous to themselves, others around them. Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, I've literally been building up washes to try to get a natural quality, and to work with all the different surfaces, lots of round surfaces, so letting it pool, letting it describe the shape to you kind of helps. I found rather than going for just kind of like metallic or, you know, kind of like mundane colours on the base, I'm going to go for something to really bring out all the other colours, make it a bit more fun. A good space to utilise, especially to get that contrast. I think it works kind of like less the yellow pop. So just to add some weather in, I put on some rust texture, so now I want to get that colour. So a bit of dirty down, always good. Really toxic. Lots of these things are flammable, irritant. So yeah, be careful. I find kind of like little streaks, less is more sometimes. You can kind of drown out a lot of detail and colour with it. But when you just get those right specs, you get really realistic, you feel like it looks right. So I'm going to pick out some highlights, just the really bright silver, kind of like define the shape, get some edges, and more light play then. And finally, this is brilliant stuff, streak and grime. Not just as a look dirty, but yeah, it really helps kind of like as a little wash itself. Shades in all the dark areas. And I got these from UK Games Expo. Can't wait for the next one, it was really good. But yeah, I'd seen these for ages and always kind of like never knew and thought Oh, why not? Give them a try. And the colours are really good, and you get like some of them, even though they're quite vibrant, you can naturalise them by mixing them with the right other colours. I think they work really well. I really like the electric blue. Again, ties in with the base, just making a bit more attention on the colours. Oh no. I think some envy over the tufts. But I don't know, bud. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Sure. Thank you for getting through, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And next I'm going to do a 6-man Ruster, well, six person, I guess, Ruster team. Hopefully, I don't know if you've known, I've had a bit of a cold, been a bit rough, so hopefully it's not too noticeable. Yeah, thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you for the next video. Have a good one.